of our favorite and not so favorite things about living in Germany. If you are new here,
sorry, this is Tank.
Sorry for the interruption.
All right, he's gotta go.
So if you are new here, my name is Brigitte and this is my husband,
Devin.
And just to recap, if you are new here, like I said, we are currently stationed in Germany. We also just want to thank everyone that watched our first video about a few tips to know before PCSing here. So we thought we would create a video about a few things that we love and may not love about Germany. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to both get a pen and notepad, and we're just gonna take a quick second to write 5 things that we love about living in Germany and 5 things that we're not too fond of about living over here. We are ready. So I wrote 5 things that I loved and didn't like, and then Devin did too. So in total it should be hopefully 10 loves and 10 not so loves. You wanna go first or should we rock, paper, scissors?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Should we go?
Oh, pause. When we say we don't like, I see it more as like a culture shock kind of thing. I don't want to say like disrespectfully don't like. It's just like things that you don't adjust to easily. Agreed.
And that's why I'm trying to use my words, because I don't want to say we hate it or like dislike it. It's just like you said, it's a harder adjustment. And so, because ultimately, you would genuinely say that you really love it here, right? Yeah. So that's what we're just trying to do, things that may help you prepare or kind of like open your eyes, open our family's eyes of like the situations that we currently live in. So that's why I don't want to say we hate anything, because we don't. I don't think there's anything we passionately hate. But should we start with what we dislike or like?
Yeah, you decide. You go first.
Okay. We'll start with dislikes. And everything at least how I'm going to do it is everything I say, like I said, it's not really negative. So basically I'll have probably a follow-up positive thing to say about something. So my first dislike, we'll just go back and forth. My number 1 dislike about here is there are so many freaking spiders. And this is the positive note though, is that none of these, I've been told, none of these spiders are poisonous, so there's nothing to fear of, but they're still, like, I have a fear of spiders, and Devin typically has to kill them, so it's probably a nuisance for him too.
So a like for me that I don't have that brings up is I haven't seen a single tree frog since I've been here, and that's big news.
What is your first dislike?
Oh, so I have a BOGO. You guys get 2 in 1. So water at restaurants is not free. It's actually rather expensive. So, and the BOGO to that is that the bathroom also isn't free. So you're paying like $10 to stay healthy out here.
Yeah.
So just always keep change on you so you can go to the bathroom, because you will get caught in a bad situation. And also understand that if you are drinking water rather than beer, you're probably going to pay more than everybody else around you.
Yes. So that was actually well, no, okay, so mine's different, so I'll save it for that. But going off of what he's saying, I did mention that in our first video, so I'll link it up here if you haven't seen it. But like we said, water isn't free, and I was told, because it does make sense, because you can linger at restaurants here, which was really strange to us, because you know in America you're like rushing and trying to see as many people as possible in a short amount of time. But like, for example, we just went out yesterday with our friends, and I got like a lemonade, and he got just a glass of water. Tap water, and it was $10. Our bill was $10. We didn't even eat anything. And then our friends that were there that do drink, they had, like, one of the guys bought his friend's rounds, and it wasn't even 30 euros. Yeah, our 2 drinks, and I know they had at least 5 drinks, which is crazy. So that's just something to keep in mind. And number 2, actually, it's crazy, it goes with it, is that there are no refills on drinks. And so I was taught that this is because since people can linger, it's so that they can continue to make money even if someone sits there for a long time, because that is something that people do here. But for people like us that just want to enjoy some water, it gets really expensive. And I know it gets tacky and it's cliche for us Americans, but you'll see some of us actually bring in our own personal water bottles to drink while eating. I've never personally done it. I've had friends do it. I know there's like wishy-washy opinions about it, but it just comes to that since we are so used to free refills.
So I drive a rather small car, but I also like hate I don't mind driving, but parking is sketchy to me. And parking and driving here is just very tight at all times. Like, it is always, you're never going to be like, wow, this is a huge parking spot, I have so much room. Or there's a lot of open parking spots. So parking is kind of tough to get used to for me. 2 years here and I still don't like it. If you're bringing a large vehicle and you have like a couple months before you get here, think about it hard.
It's not like it's not impossible, but I mean, you see your massive Ford F-250s, your Dodge Rams, all those cars here, but you can definitely, one, note that you're American, and two, know that, wow, that is quite the struggle. What we know. So I think it's really funny though, because off of coincidence, like, we weren't looking at each other's or talking about this prior, but my third one is small streets. So that goes off of what he's saying perfectly, because they are tiny, tiny roads here, even with the tiny cars here. So, and I posted this on Facebook a long time ago, which when we first got here. If you want to know how it feels to live in Mario Kart, move to Europe, because you'll be dodging tractors, you'll be dodging bicycles, strollers, actual vehicles, small and large, and sometimes it's just such a nuisance just to get to like your house.
So your third one? Mm-hmm. My third one, oh, so, you know, Friday night is usually like unwind, relax. Saturday, usually do something fun, try and travel. Sunday, in America, you cut the grass, take care of the house. Here, they have quiet hours, Sunday being like an all-off limits day. So you cannot cut your grass on Sunday. So, and everything is also closed on Sunday. So it kind of puts you in a bind. I think the best case is to do it throughout the week, but if you play a sport or work later into the evening, it kind of gets tough to find the right times to do yard work.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely notice those that are retired and those that have young kids that can clean up their yards.
Everyone around us, our neighbors especially, their yard is immaculate, and like the way that we live on a hill, they can see into our yard, which makes us a little self-conscious because I can see theirs. It's amazing, and ours struggle sometimes because we don't have Sunday's the time and we don't have time for it.
This one is definitely going to be wishy-washy for a lot of people. So before I even get started, I am super allergic to dogs. We're puppy sitting right now, and I'm super surprised that I'm not having reactions to this. Devin can attest to it. His family can attest to it. They have 3 dogs, and literally when I have to go to his parents' house, I have to prep like a week prior so I can be okay. But Germany is super, super duper dog friendly. And like I said, I love dogs. However, being in a restaurant in a confined space, when I literally am super duper allergic to them and they trigger my asthma, and you're allowed to have your dog in the restaurant, it gets super, super nerve-wracking for me, and I get really anxious because typically, I don't know what happens, but the universe is against me when it comes to, because they always get sat next to me, like literally right behind my seat. So for a lot of dog lovers, of course, it's such a wonderful thing, and I know this is a really big positive, but for me personally, since I have allergies, so if you have allergies and you're coming here, just know that dogs are allowed in a lot of the restaurants inside the actual restaurants, not just outdoor seating. So just prepare yourself. So now I always obviously have to have my medicine with me and make sure that we're consciously aware of like what is around us. So that's my number 4.
And quickly, if you see them off a leash, don't freak out if you are allergic. For some reason, they're the most like behaved dogs I've ever seen. they act, if you're not part of their family, they do not bother you and act like you're not in existence. So legit walk right past you. They won't jump on you, bother you like normal dogs. So don't freak out too much. There might be times, but from everything I've experienced, no issues there. So mine,
this is number 4.
Yeah, being a young person that doesn't have a checkbook and doesn't have all that stuff, I still have not learned to keep cash on me. I also don't like it because I'll spend it, and I also don't like it because
I don't know why, but my camera just stopped.
Alright, so taking cash everywhere, I just don't like it because if I go out to eat or we go out to eat and I pull out like 50 euros, I get scared because I can't spend over that. And then I also like, it's just a tough game. So here, cards aren't very prominent, taking card. Every other country, they're very big on it, surrounding. Germany is just very big on keeping euros on you. If you're in a touristy area and you don't plan ahead and use your home bank, when you get there, I think they're called Euromats, the yellow ATMs that you'll see everywhere. Just know, yeah, you're gonna get yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to use it. Do not get overly like excited and pull out more than you need, because you're gonna pay huge transaction fees and the worst exchange rate possible. As a money person, it drives me nuts, but I still have yet to learn my lesson.
Lighting is different. My camera was not allowing us to film anymore, and so I had to go charge it for the last like 45 minutes. But anyways, I think I was on number 5. Excuse me. So number 5, this is something that Devin had to adjust, and a lot of people, if you're not from the Pacific Northwest or Alaska, they have an issue too. The winters here are really long, in the sense that there is not much light during that time. So even Devin, you'll notice that you want to sleep longer. Your body and your fatigue is just a constant thing, that a lot of people actually have to get either one of those like mood lamps, I can't remember what they're called, and they have to get prescribed vitamin D just to help them. You want to talk about how hard it was since you're a Florida boy?
The part that sucks is if you work like 9 to 5, like the time frames that she laid out are pretty right. You walk in and it's pitch dark, and then you leave work and it's pitch dark. You feel like even if you leave early and you work like a 6 or 7 hour day and it's not a rough day at all, you just feel like you were there for like 12 to 14 hours. And you feel like you woke up, you went to work, and as soon as you go home, it's time to go to bed. So it's kind of rough. And then that whole like getting things done. The only thing that kept me motivated and on track was like a set gym schedule and set like sports schedule. So try and keep yourself busy doing something, and don't let the light or the outside dictate your like mood, because it will. If you're like me and you're from Florida or anywhere where it's really sunny, it will essentially win. I wouldn't go as far as to say I was depressed, but I was definitely felt it.
Like physically depressed, because you're just like deprived of
sun.
And
you sleep so much.
And I forgot to say, so I filmed the hours before the camera died, so just to record them again. So typically, like in the summer, it's crazy because it's polar opposite. So it's what, 6 p.m.
What's that when it goes down?
Right now, no, what time right now?
Yeah,
it's like 6 o'clock, and it's this bright, and the sun doesn't go down until like 10 o'clock. Like it's not pitch black until almost 11 o'clock at night. And the sun gets up, it rises at like 4 a.m., like no joke. In the winter, it doesn't rise until like 9 a.m., if not later, and it starts setting at 4. So like he said, by the time he leaves work at 5, it's almost pitch black. So you would literally don't really want to do anything with your day, because like obviously yard work's not appealing, and typically, like we said, you don't really see the sun, but not only because of the lack of daytime, but also it's really a lot of overcast. So if you're from Washington and Oregon, or those northern states, or those northern parts of the continent, it's not unusual, but for people like Devin, and like even for me, for being from Utah, is definitely different. So just to keep that in mind. So that's my 5. So recap: spiders, no refills, small streets, super dog friendly. Again, that's not a con exactly, but for people that have allergies, and just know that and keep that in mind. And then super long winters. It's your number 5.
I can't tell you because it's not a like or dislike, so I'll talk about it at the end of the likes.
Ooh.
I won't elaborate. Oh, and also in the seasons, know that they hit like this. Like the winter into like the cold into the hot is like a one-day transition. I feel like it happens super fast for me, anyways.
Yeah.
Back to the likes. Let me go first.
Yeah, you can go first this time.
All right. Number one is so when quarantine hit, the gym shut down, and it forced me to go outside more and run. And I realized that it's very hiking, bike, and run friendly. Everywhere you go, there's a lot of ways to explore each village safely. You're not running in the road. There's usually nice little like off-trail runs. So there's a lot of ways to stay healthy and fit.
So that was actually number 2 on my list, so I'll just go off of that. So like he said, there are so many outdoor activities, it's crazy. We actually did some hiking vlogs, so if you want to check that out, I'll link that up here. So it is beautiful here.
So my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is you don't do this in Florida because it's insanely hot. You don't sit outside at restaurants. So here it's highly recommended, and it's always nice views outside. Especially in like the touristy areas on the Rhine River and stuff like that. So they're very nice. Even downtown K-Town where we live. Example, last night we all sat outside. We prefer here usually outside of the winters sitting outside rather than inside. So
my number 1 favorite thing that I didn't mention because of the fact that we had the same thing, but my number 1 thing here in Germany, or like Europe in general, they have a reason to celebrate everything. It is fantastic. They celebrate the first day of spring, the first day of fall, first day of winter. Christmas, of course, you guys should know if you don't know already, is an absolute winter wonderland. Fairy tale, storybook, like scene. It's incredible here. We have been very fortunate enough. We don't even consume alcohol, but we just love the fact of saying it. We've been to the largest wine festival. We've been to the largest beer festival. There's the largest pumpkin festival here. We haven't been there, but we're gonna put it on our list, cross our fingers that we get to go this year.
don't come here thinking you're gonna hold a diet.
No, oh my gosh.
It's terrible, it's hard.
But like the best thing about it is that the food here is a lot less greasy and it's a lot more natural, if that makes any sense. Like our favorite thing, if I can find a picture of it, is the
longos?
Longos. Oh, they are our favorite things ever, and I love to, you can make it either like a dinner, like more of a delicacy instead of a dessert, but I love it smeared with either cinnamon sugar or Nutella. So those are like elephant ears if you're from the States. They are top notch. So festivals here, everyone will tell you, from the month of April, pre-quarantine, from the month of April, excuse me, until like the second week of January. So every month except for February and March, because those months are just kind of like not ideal for outdoor celebrations, there is always something going on. Whether we're traveling out of the country or we're traveling to another festival to experience it. So don't mind that, that's our air fryer because dinner's almost ready.
And like socially, so for those festivals and stuff, socially when you get here and you start to meet people at your work, at like wherever you meet people at, it's a great place if you don't essentially want to bring people to your house or you don't want to go to people's homes right away and you start meeting people. It's a very nice environment to, and if you're not like a bar going person, it's a very good environment to like stand around, talk, get to know people, and it's not like invasive in a sense. And
then like just going off on that note, we could probably talk about festivals forever, so if you want to know about festivals, let us know. We can make a video about it, comment it down below. But you can have a small village and they have like the cutest little like setup for you, or you can go to a massive city like Heidelberg and they just have this, or Strasbourg.
You can't move.
Yeah, but it's so pretty.
Okay.
So again, if you want just like a video of some of the tips or knows what to know about festivals and celebrations here in Germany or Europe and stuff, just make sure to leave a comment if you'd like something like that. Okay, your turn.
So, America, this isn't a thing anymore unless you're at fine dining. And So here, reservations are still prevalent in restaurants. So like just walking in and getting put on a list isn't really a thing. Either there's a table or there's not. You usually always have to make a reservation for almost all restaurants. The nice part is that reservation holds that table like we talked about earlier with the expensive drinks for as long as possible. Or like as long as you want. There's no rush. They don't rush you out. It's nice, but you do have to plan more here than you do in the States. Don't be upset if you get to somewhere you've craved or like last second you're like, oh, I really want this. You show up and they're not going to take you. They're not overly welcoming about it because it is very common. So just think ahead and try and plan probably 24, 48 hours ahead, especially if you're in a group. 2s and 4s, they're very good about. If you have like a large family or a large group, you better make a reservation.
Basically, if you are gonna need more than one table, you're obviously, but that's like how it is in the States anyways. Also, if you've noticed, a lot of things he's saying about his likes and not so fond of things are mentioned in that first video of things to know. But him reciting that, one, means that he didn't watch the video. And 2, it also just shows you how noticeable those things were that I mentioned in that video. So it just keep those things in mind because it is really important. Because if I notice them without telling him and he's mentioning them now, obviously that means something. Okay, so number 3. I actually am planning on doing a video. Maybe he'll join me for this one. But grocery shopping is amazing here because things are so cheap, especially if you eat meat. Is it poultry? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Poultry and all that stuff, and then like eggs and milk and all the fresh produce and veggies, I mean fruits and all that stuff are just so much cheaper here, and it's crazy, and they're so fresh. It's weird because like instead of them rotting, if you leave like veggies out, they don't like mold. They kind of just like disintegrate. It's really crazy. I wish I could show you, but like it's just literally goes to ashes because of like how fresh and natural they are.
Yep.
If you want some grocery videos, like I said, I do plan on doing some, but if you want like a haul or any specific videos about that, leave a comment below because that would actually be really fun, because it is really scary and very intimidating to shop on the economy is what we call it, so the local grocery stores, because of 1, the language barrier, 2, just they're all different products, except that you'd be surprised about, they do have like overlapping products, but all your basic needs that you can obviously tell us, so your eggs, your veggies, fruits, and meat, totally shop on the local grocery stores for those things.
And pro tip, the little amount of German I know is all from grocery shopping on the economy. Yeah,
it helps you so much because you know like your animals.
Reading menus and stuff. Like I know what's on my pizza.
Exactly.
Only because I shop at the grocery store. Okay. Your turn? My turn?
Your turn.
Oh. Park amenities. So like the parks here are crazy nice. And parks, not like amusement parks, just like outside parks. Yesterday we went to the local garden show. I think a video might come out. But so like there's like ping pong tables, the slides for the kids. If we had kids, yeah, it almost makes me want to be a kid because they don't want a 6'6" guy flying down the slide, I'm sure.
I have no shame.
I have a little bit of fear of missing out, a little FOMO, because the stuff they have here is very cool and just ties back into the great exercise equipment and stuff they have to get you outside for the weather.
My turn? Okay. Don't stop looking at my notepad.
I've been cheating.
Oh my goodness, rude. Number 4 is the AUTOBAHN. Yes, you've heard it. If you haven't, it's their freeway here, their interstate, whatever you know it as. But the AUTOBAHN is very convenient. So like we said, we travel a lot and we go on road trips a lot. So the fact that when you get to a certain point on these roads, there's no speed limit is so awesome, because it just makes the road trip feel so much faster. On average, like the max speed limit they have is around 80 miles per hour or 130 kilometers an hour. But once that goes, it's insane. We usually can go on average like 90, maybe 100 miles per hour.
If our car lets us.
Yeah, if our car lets us. Because the hills here are insane. But people are still zooming. Not even like passing us. But I'm telling you, like, holy crap, hold your steering wheel. Because this car is like shaking because it's going so fast. So
I get excited when I see them come in the rear view. Because they come in hot.
Yeah, like when they're saying like they come in hot, they ain't joking. Okay, your last one. Bum, 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 bum.
So we're going to get nerdy here.
Nerdy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about one. So first, I couldn't, like, I thought I was going to die. I didn't think I was going to be able to handle this. Now, when I go back to the States, it bothers me. Air conditioning not being in your house. And, like, so there's no air conditioning at, like, 95% of houses here. And 95% of buildings, there's no air conditioning at my work. So when we first got here, it was really hot summer. You'll kind of sweat. And it's kind of annoying because you're used to having air conditioning. You'll be outside all day, come home, and you still kind of feel like you're outside. Now when I go back to the States, I feel like that it's too cold when I try and sleep and stuff. But where we're getting nerdy is in your utilities. I don't know if you explain this to them. That the way your utilities works is going to throw you off. Is that rather than paying month by month, you're gonna, when you set up your utilities, you're going to tell them what you think you want to pay. Be kind of overly generous with this because they'll come in the end of the year, they'll reconcile the whole year of stuff you use, and you could end up winning a lotto and getting some money back, or you could also end up with, if you plug in like a deep freezer or leave your transformers running, you could end up with thousands of euros of bills. So try and cut your lights off, try and be aware of what you use. If you cook a lot, use a lot of hot water. If you have like a indoor pool or something, or whatever you're
like
using.
A lot of people in your household, so it's only us two, so it's obviously not going to be a lot of hot water being used all the time.
Just try, and like I said, don't, when they tell you to pay your own bill, you're going to get super excited and be like, I'll give you $5 a month. Just try, and they'll tell you what the person before that house lived in used. Go off that and then adjust accordingly, and then always keep some money in savings to prepare for getting a bill. And also always pay attention to the bill. There could be a typo.
Yeah. The one thing that will really get you is heating, because they don't have like a normal heating system here. So if you are using your furnace, it is expensive. So that's why I'm a blanket hoarder, so this is not an issue for us because we have plenty of blankets. But if you are someone that loves a very heat-controlled home during the winter, just know you're going to have to pay for it. Or, like he said, make a generous guesstimate in the beginning, because we have heard or witnessed people that had to fork up a lot of money at the end when they're about to leave. Because PCSing is already expensive, and then getting smacked with that on top of it is just like an unfortunate event. So just keep that in mind. So, yeah. My number 5, which is obviously something I've talked about a lot, and you probably would hope that this is something to be true, but it is so crazy cheap to travel here. And we are so fortunate, and we truly know we are blessed to be able to do all the things that we've done. But it's because we are balling on a budget, okay? We do not do these things unless we know we can fully afford it and fully enjoy it. So what's the most we've ever spent on like an airplane ticket?
No more than 50 euros round trip per person.
Yeah, so 50 euros, and exchange rate is probably like $60. And we've been to a handful of countries since we've been here. So if you are coming here, I just told a friend that's about to get stationed here, download Skyscanner. And if you can, use your travel points as much as possible, because our first year while we were traveling here, we basically didn't pay for a hotel out of pocket. We just used our points that we were able to earn when we first opened our travel credit cards. Just to note, this disclaimer isn't to suggest that you rack up a credit card bill, but
if you guys ever want a finance video, we could do that.
Yeah, if you want like a finance video talking about
anything, utilities, credit cards,
yeah,
anything to use over here, the banks, which banks to use, phone service, yeah, we can make all that stuff.
He can be really good. I wasn't here the first 3 months when we moved here. He came here first, and he was like the saving grace and did all that great things. So when I got here, literally everything was established. So if you want a duo video about things about that or lessons learned, again, leave a comment below because we'd be happy to. we get a really big thrill with helping people, save them the headache and all that stuff. So
money.
Save the money.
I don't care about your headache. I care about your pockets.
Yeah, that's his finance talking, but yeah. So anything else you want to mention?
No, my potato fries need to get switched.
Yeah, it is time for dinner and we are starving, and Devin made an awesome dinner. So he's gonna head out, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. We appreciate your time. And again, if you have any video suggestions, please leave a comment below. And if you could just leave a comment below to say something nice that would, or teach us something, because we've learned so much since we've been posting these videos, it'd be awesome. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll see you the next time.